We kicked off Wine Owners in 2011. So we had a collection management essentially integrated with the trading exchange, and then we had a white label CRM for the wine trade with that in mind. Um, and I guess the fusion of those two services then led us to create software for wine storage operators in the US. And that was in the period 2015 to 2017. The industry specific software for storage caught the eye of merchants and retailers who felt that their own needs were unaddressed by essentially generic cross industry ERPs. What tech consultancy Forrester Research dubbed a sort of a digital operating system approach, which is very much the approach we took, which was, in today's world, it makes much more sense to work with a tech stack that's based on best in class rather than having to have everything under one roof because actually you had no choice other than to put everything under one roof. And that's called Wine Hub, and that's the platform for basically running a wine business, and that released in 2020 and was quickly adopted. Well, fundamentally, it's a platform for running a wine business, and therefore it's handling all of the core activities, all of the core workflows around sourcing stuff, managing inventory, selling stuff, and so that's the essence of it. However, most businesses, I guess, or most sectors consider that they're rather unique, that they do things differently to other markets. And often, guess what? That's not true. They use different language, but the fundamentals boil down to typically very much the same thing. The business of wine, however, is actually rather idiosyncratic. It's a non-industrial product, and B, a number of segments within that market collaborate very closely. So, for example, Wine Hub allows for very different workflows and even provides for inverted order workflows. So, typically, ERPs allow businesses to purchase wine, bring it into stock, and sell it. Whereas Wine Hub, for things like virtual stock and client consigned wines, start at the other end of the order workflow with a sales order that then generates a back-to-back purchase order and results in obviously the stock position then being kind of depleted. So there are some sort of key differences that we baked into the segments and all of the different stock types that those segments work with. And whilst collaboration is very commonplace, it's also very manual and inefficient.
Yeah.
And we're focused really on establishing processes that are far more systematic and therefore scalable. And hopefully that in turn provides a platform for business growth based on operational efficiency, easier collaboration, and hopefully that will end up with happier customers and happier staff. I guess sort of, in essence, I believe that to be an application solutions provider in 2024, you've got to be more than a bit of software. You've got to be able to positively impact a market. You've got to be able to connect up market participants and provide improved market reach. And we've always listened to the market, and the market has in turn been patient with us as we have progressively built things out, because the market wants us to succeed. It wants us to be by the industry for the industry and be the platform that fits their requirements without them having to worry about talking to consultants about defining business requirements and worrying about managing projects. How do you make it significantly easier for businesses to collaborate? Because they're doing that already. They're just not doing it very efficiently, as we discussed before. And I think the answer to that is to build an ecosystem. So, looking at behaviors within the market and opportunities for being able to do more and building utilities and flows around those to make that process easier, and on the principle that together you're stronger, And I think that's so true of our market. And then the second is to provide paths to growth for the for the wine trade. So making it easier for them to adopt a multi-channel approach to figuring out where they can engage with more of their serviceable addressable market and providing the channels for them to be able to do it. The hub already orchestrates a multi-channel, omni-channel type um, setup. So, you know, that's the that's the engineering kind of fundamentals that are already in place. But now it's about how we execute that and how we become, if you like, the platform that the wine trade depends upon or is drawn towards, perhaps would be a better way of putting it, in order to, you know, in order to realize their ambitions.